325,000 tickets for the Centenary race had sold out immediately, and 12,000 grid passes had been issued, allowing punters to swamp the main straight as the clock ticked down to the 4 o'clock start. On pole in the GTE AM class were Corvette Racing.
To get the C8R on the podium would be amazing for its last race. I would be ecstatic. The whole crew would be just beside themselves.
There were weather warnings and a good chance that rain would play havoc with race plans. The Porsches were ready for whatever it took in the fight for overall victory.
The weather is not really sure what's going to happen. A lot of clouds, big chance of rain. So we'll see. We'll try to do a clean race. We start P9. We have to try to climb up slowly towards the front, but we feel confident that we are ready for that.
For Cadillac, returning after 20 years, there was a feeling of optimism despite reports of standing water on the other side of the circuit.
It's wet on that side of the track and it's dry here. I don't know if you've seen, but the two chicanes are fully wet, so it's super exciting, and I think at the end of the day, anything can happen, and I'm just ready to race.
And reigning champions Toyota were lying third and fifth, knowing that the fight with pole-sitters Ferrari and the other manufacturers would be the most intense they'd seen in 6 years.
The best day of the week. We've been nearly 10 days, and it's the moment we are waiting for. We aim for the best, so we hope to do a good race.
The Le Mans Centenary race is underway. LeBron James waves the tricolour. They're off and racing. Ferraris ahead of Toyotas towards the Dunlop Bridge for the first time. This is going to be epic. Coming out of the Daytona chicane. Oh, sideways motion. That's the 311 Cadillac. Jack Aitken into the fence.
The car would take over an hour to repair, while up front Sebastian Buemi took the fight to Ferrari in his Toyota.
Well, that didn't take long. Sebastian Buemi drags through. Toyota leads Le Mans.
While the battle for the overall lead continued, the number 3 Caddy was hit from behind in a slow zone at the Dunlop chicane, and 3 hours of repairs ruined their chances of Le Mans glory. But for the blue number 2, there was happier news as they briefly led the race when the lead Toyota and Ferrari pitted.
We've now led our first ever laps at Le Mans as Cadillac Racing. We're right in that front group in the top 4 or 5 cars, so we're right in the mix. Hopefully we can have a fight and get back in the lead and achieve some of our dreams.
Running better than many had expected and roaring away in midfield was the Garage 56 entry, and NASCAR taking on Le Mans for the first time since 1976. For Porsche, it hadn't been an easy start, but they were still in the hypercar fight as the evening drew in.
We ran something over, I think, and took a puncture. So, yeah, I went from being quite good, kind of in a second, third position, to not being one lap down. But we have a new safety car thing this year. So I think at some point we will get a chance to get that lap back and get back in the fight for a podium.
Fellow American Ben Keating might have put the Corvette on GTE AM pole, but they'd lost laps after having to replace a front right damper early on. However, with so many getting caught out in the rain, they were still in the fight.
It was raining pretty hard. To be honest, I was grateful to get out of the car. We just had about an hour and a half long safety car because so many cars wrecked. I was out there on slick tires and just tiptoeing around. We got about 19 hours left, so we'll see what we can do all night.
Porsche lost one of their 3 hypercars when Mathieu Jaminet in the number 75 suffered a mechanical failure. Meanwhile, the Peugeots were running well in the cooler, damp conditions and fighting up front with the Ferraris and the Toyotas.
This race so far has thrown everything it had for 100 years into this one race. Incredibly difficult weather conditions. I was a driver. I'm very happy to be retired because today those guys really earned their money. This is motorsport to the absolute highest level in the most difficult circumstances.
The Centenary race would see 22 non-finishers, including the number 7 Toyota.
Rouge, yellow flags waving. There's a shunt in the background. 3 cars involved. As the JMW Ferraris run into the Toyota, I think. That's the 7. It's Kobayashi. That car's going no further. Toyota 7 out of Le Mans.
Porsche also had a difficult night, going out of contention, while the leading Peugeot of Gustavo Menezes went into the barriers in the 12th hour of the race.
The Daytona chicane has claimed another victim. It's the leading Peugeot. Menezes is off. Right front damage. Big right front damage. Disaster for the French squad.
It was now looking like a straight battle between the number 51 Ferrari and the remaining Toyota for the overall win. There were more dramatic crashes as dawn broke before Toyota ceded the lead to Ferrari after the GR010 hit a squirrel in the 16th hour, meaning the whole front end needed to be changed. In the LMP2 class, the Inter-Europol competition squad were on their way to victory, while in GTE AM, Corvette had made a remarkable recovery overnight from 2 laps down to give themselves hope of a 9th Le Mans class win. Toyota was still in second overall as Brendan Hartley handed the car over to Ryo Hirakawa for the final push as they chased down the Ferrari.
Ryo Hirakawa full attack mode on the outlap, and he's lost the back end, and Arnage on the bumps. Exactly what he was warned about by Brendan Hartley.
The Japanese driver nursed the car back to the pits and emerged 3 minutes down. It looked as though Alessandro Pierguidi and Ferrari were home and dry. But at their very last pit stop, the Ferrari, with an ongoing issue, was routed to the pit box and would not start. It was a head-in-hands moment, but finally the car sparked back to life and got underway again. It wasn't enough time lost to save Toyota, and they'd have to settle for second. Earl Bamber brought the number 2 Cadillac home in third, and the news got even better for the Americans as the NASCAR survived to finish the race in 39th place, and Corvette awaited their finishing driver, Nicky Katzberg.
Katzberg brings the GTE Corvette home for a win at Le Mans. Ben Keating and Nico Veron will share the top step with him.
Great teammates, amazing strategy. I have no words.
It's a dream. We just won the last race of GTE. We just won the Centenary race for Le Mans, 25th anniversary for Corvette Racing. It gets no better. No words.
As the crowd saluted Ferrari's first overall victory since 1964 and 3 different manufacturers on the podium, Corvette Racing were in full celebration after their remarkable GTE AM win.